want to turn our attention to D.C. right now. This is a local story developing out of the White House right now. Today, President Trump was hosting an event talking about FIFA World Cup 2026. We, of course, are a host city. So we just got new video in, and just to give you guys some background here, I'm thumbing through some details just pushed out. We understand that FIFA World Cup 26, they're going to offer ticket holders traveling to the U.S. FIFA priority appointment scheduling. Basically, this will prioritize people to get visas to allow them into the United States for the 78 matches throughout the 2018 FIFA World Cup programming taking place in the United States, Mexico, and in Canada. Now, President Trump asked very early on in part of a Q&A session about Seattle specifically and recently mayoral-elect Katie Wilson. Let's jump in. President Trump speaking with the media.
Mr. President, on the World Cup, if you would, Seattle and the World Cup. The new mayor elected Seattle is a Democratic Socialist. Seattle has
more beyond. I watched her.
Right,
that's more than socialism.
Right, Seattle has 6 World Cup games. How close are you going to be watching that city with the crime?
All right, so that was the question there. How closely are you going to be watching that city with the crime? I think we had that sped up and going extra fast. So let's jump back in to hear the response from President Trump.
Well, if we think, and I'll have to speak to Johnny about this, but if we think that the mayor of LA is incompetent, everybody knows that. You know that I was there, I guess, 2 years ago, and we got all the federal permits taken care of, far more complex than the state permits and the city permits. And Lee Zeldin, who's a superstar, got everything taken care of. The toughest part, having to do with the fires, that should have never happened. If they let the water come in, it wouldn't have happened, right? Do you know that people aren't building their houses yet? I mean, can you imagine that? And if we didn't go in early on, Christy, I think we can say it. Well, the head of their police department said it. They were unable to handle. You would have had, not only did you have the fires, but you would have had total insurrection in Los Angeles. And if we didn't go in, and the head of, the gentleman, he said it, and he said it strongly. He said we could not have done it without the federal government. We did a great job. If we think there's going to be the sign of any trouble, I would ask Johnny to move that to a different city. We have a lot of cities that would love to have it number one, and we'll do it very safely. So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor, I would say, it's certainly beyond just liberal. I watched her over the weekend. Wow, that's another beauty we got there. But if we think there's going to be a problem, Johnny, can I say we will move? I don't think you're going to have this problem, but we're going to move the event to someplace where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
Yeah, well, I think safety and security is the #1 priority for a successful World Cup. We can see today that people have trust in the United States when we see at the ticket sales, we sold, record-breaking figures of tickets, almost 2 million already sold out of 2 million that we've been selling. This is because people, they know that they will be coming here and they will experience a safe and secure World Cup. This is the responsibility, of course, of the government, of Secretary Norm, of everyone. And obviously, we will discuss. We are working together. We have a task force for this, and we must ensure that all fans coming from abroad or being here, they can experience a celebration of coming together of the sport, and this goes only with 100% safety.
We are communicating with all these mayors about what their responsibilities are. They know the safety and security of these events is their #1 responsibility, and we'll be there. The president's always there to keep Americans safe, but he also makes sure that people that know their responsibilities and that they're prepared to host these events and do so in a safe manner.
Is there a timeline? Mr. President.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
There was some news this morning from an Axios report that Senator Ted Cruz was laying the groundwork for a potential 2028 presidential run. Could I get your
All right, so that was President Trump reacting to a question specifically asked about Seattle after Katie Wilson was announced as the victor in the Seattle mayoral race. He had some choice words for her there, talking about how she was beyond liberal, but then you also heard kind of the turn with leadership with FIFA and Secretary Kristi Noem talking about how they've been in contact with the mayors. The context we don't have is whether or not they've been in contact with mayoral-elect people. We, of course, will try to get some more details on this, but President Trump speaking in the White House today about FIFA World Cup specifically, while we take a look at folks asking questions that aren't technically on that topic, just kind of an overview of what was just pushed out to us by FIFA. They announced World Cup 2026 ticket holders will benefit from prioritized U.S. visa appointments to travel into the U.S. They say that ticket holders traveling to the U.S. will be eligible for what they're calling FIFA Priority Appointment Scheduling System. And of course, we are already getting some interaction from folks like Seattle Sounders saying it's happening. FIFA World Cup is coming to Seattle in 2026. Today's event at the White House, you had the president there, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Homeland Security Noem that I just mentioned, and FIFA President Gianni Infantino unveiling this new priority appointment scheduling system known as FIFA Pass to allow folks to get into the United States more easily with games coming up. We, of course, will be tracking the latest with this and give you a better idea of what it means, but we'll also be, of course, tracking down details of what this means for the city of Seattle. We've heard President Trump talk about potentially moving games out of Seattle in the past, but when asked about it, he kind of talked a little bit about Los Angeles before coming back to Seattle. What it all means, we will have to wait and see.